that should a woman make sure that through her marriage, the husband has got the life insurance, have got all these insurances. There's a lot of women out there, and I happen to know one, right, doesn't know anything that's going on, and she's like spending a lot of time away from her husband, so I'm saying, well, he's stuck away and everything. But shouldn't these women make sure that they do have the right insurance, and not to be afraid, women are afraid of asking their husbands, you know, whether I'm insured. Well, I don't like to ask, but awkward asking him, but, you know, when he does die and they're left with only 200 more years, hello, that's not enough.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, you know, on business. When I was a quote-unquote financial planner, excuse me, primarily my role, and that's one of the things I must say, that I'm sitting down with a family and convincing them that they need to be properly. So the answer is yes. I mean, this woman is a good example of a family who had a lot of money in a retirement plan, but had no life insurance. So when he died, she had this lump of money, but well, you've got access problems because you've got penalties and taxes to be paid on that now. It wasn't designed for her as a 50-year-old. It was designed for them as a 60-year-old and beyond. So yeah, insurance, which in many cases is very inexpensive, maybe $1 million, depends on where you live and what your cost of living is. I would certainly highly recommend that they do that.
Start, Neil, with a client. Do you do like an assessment?
Yeah, we have I mean, first of all, any widowed or divorced woman, I will give an hour. I don't care if you're broke. I don't care if you're a billionaire. If you're divorced or widowed, and you're an hour of free coaching. During that hour, I do an assessment. It's not a sales pitch. We actually and figure out kind of where this person's going, where they've been, and what they. Yes, I take them through a process to determine this before I move forward. I mean, in my opinion, you have to do that. So in other words, if you know very little, then we're going to start there. If you're running a business, we're going to start. So we'll be very specific in our approach so that what we're doing is where you are in your life.
And then what? You put a plan together?
Well, yeah, it's a plan, but to be clear, it's not a financial plan in the traditional sense. Remember, I'm handling investments and insurances and so forth, so I'm not sitting there saying an asset allocation model together and figuring out where their money should be invested. I am working with any monetary issues, or whether it's buying a car or selling a house or getting your mortgage sale or opening a bank account. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. We're going to deal with all, and I'm going to help you with all of those issues because I do concierge coaching. I'm not telling you go do this and then come back and report to me. I'm going to help you to get that stuff done, and I'm bringing in the other professionals that you need if you need them. If you have them, then they need them. I'm going to bring them to the table, and they're going to do their job.
So you have actually a whole sort of actually help wherever they want to go and whatever they need. I know women. Do you ever do married women that are still with certificate?
No, I don't. I know it's
really?
like, there is, there's a certain kind of personality or a certain set of circumstances that are very specific when you've gone through a divorce and when you have gone through a death. And I've become that with that process, with that whole thinking that occurs in those two. I have become an expert. I'm not an expert on working with married women. By the way, I am married and have been for 25 years. So I mean, I guess I'm an expert with regards, but.
So you're not qualified to work on your own stuff.
All her stuff in order?
She has got all her stuff in order. She has everything in her. In fact, if she died, I'd need to figure.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. You're not qualified.
Well, it's a slight exaggeration, but she's actually quite analytical. She's got her filing system, and she knows where every penny is, and she about her situation if something. And I have lots of life insurance, so she'd be in good shape.
To take a leaf out of her book and do what she does.
I would like that very much, and if I can segment of my business, maybe that'll come in the future. It would be teaching married women to stick their nose in where it's not wanted. You know what I'm saying?
I was married for 29 years, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great concept. So Neil, all right, it's not about the money. So
What do you mean? What's it about if it's not about the money?
Well, it's about sex, about money. It's about what we were taught when we were children. It's about beliefs that maybe we were 8, but now when we're 42, it's no longer real. We made agreement with ourselves about money and with the rest of the world when we were young. And those agreements are no longer valid. Matter of fact, they're not even working for us anymore. Do you get into that conversation?
To that conversation, but I have to say that I don't profess to be a life. If I see a situation, look, if somebody's gone through a traumatic experience like a divorce or a death, and they're not seeing some kind of professional, whether a family counselor, a PhD therapist, or even a social worker, a rabbi, a priest, some to about those issues, then I certainly want to recommend they do that. In terms of mindset and power, law of attraction and those kind of issues, and in the past, the habits that they've developed that they now have to change. If they're stuck, then I will get them over to a lot mindset issues specifically to be coached in that arena, because that's certainly not my expertise. But important nevertheless.
With all this talking, we haven't mentioned how can hold of you, Neil. You have a website. What's your website? 'Cause we've got probably a lot of listeners coming and want to find out touch with you.
Yeah, I do have a website, and it is thewealthcreator.com. You spell it all out. ThewealthCreator company.com. So there's free tips. There's weekly. You got 26 weeks of weekly on there. All that's free. You can also learn about our workshops. We've got some
what are your workshops?